Hi guys, I'm Camhugger1, Jamie, and I do a lot of reading. Yes, especially in my spare time after I've done revising and playing Minecraft and all sorts of different gaming and Netflix and animes and mangas. I do a lot of reading, so I decided to do a list of my top 10 favourite books that I have ever read so that I can recommend them to you guys so that you can read them. Okay, so let's just crack into it. In no particular order, we start with Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. Of course, who hasn't heard of the famous Harry Potter books? There are 7 of them, and this is not the original cover. Let's read a paragraph. Hagrid was so huge that he parted the crowd easily. All Harry had to do was to keep close behind him. They passed bookshops and music stores, hamburger bars and cinemas, but nowhere that looked as if it could sell you a magic wand. This was just an ordinary street full of ordinary people. Could there really be piles of wizard gold buried miles beneath them? Was there really shops that sold spellbooks and broomsticks? Might this not all be some huge joke that the Dursleys cooked up? If Harry hadn't have known that the Dursleys had no sense of humour, he might have thought so. Yet somehow, even though everything Hagrid had told him so far was unbelievable, Harry couldn't help trusting him. If you like fantasy, action and adventure, Harry Potter is definitely for you. You can read it from any age. I would recommend 10 and up. The second book or book series that I suggest you read are the Alice World series. Alice World is by Karen McCombie. The first book is called The Past, the Present and the Loud Girl. This book is a hilarious comedic dramatical book. It's about a 13-year-old girl just living her life. And it's really funny. It's about all these different things that happen to her. We'll read a paragraph. That's where I've woken up nearly every morning for all 13 years I've been on this planet, and where I'm normally very happy to wake up, except for one particular morning. It was weird. For some reason, my whole head was vibrating. But then, there are a lot of weird things in this world, like nose hair. I mean, if the point is that it's there for protection, then why doesn't it grow in your mouth too? And electricity. It doesn't matter how many times the principal explains it to me, I still don't get it. But don't get me wrong, I'm pretty pleased about it. Dad sometimes likes to light these big fat coloured candles that we have in the living room. But until they invent a candle powered TV, I'm okay with electricity, however weird it is. It's hilariously written and I definitely recommend it to anyone 11 and up. Now this book is quite heart-touching and heartwarming. This book is called Wonder. It's by R.J. Palacio. The book is about a boy called August who has a craniofacial deformity. This book is about August going to school for the first time in his whole life. It's about how people react to him and how he develops to actually living as a normal child. We'll read the first paragraph. I know I am not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox. Stuff that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary, inside. But I know that ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in the playgrounds. I know that ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. It's really heartwarming, it made me cry. It's a really good book, 10 out of 10, I recommend this to anyone aged 13 and up. Now the next book series are the Tales of Redwall series by Brian Jacques. This book is Moss Flower with the original cover, I think. This book is basically about 2 armies kind of having a fight. It's really good. If you like fantasies and action and adventure, then you're definitely going to like this number. It's extremely descriptive, so if you only like easy reads, then this isn't really the book for you. It's quite hard to read sometimes. But overall, it's got a great plot and a great storyline. I wish I thought of it before Brian did. We'll read the blurb. A young mouse strays into an evil wildcat territory in Mossflower Wood, and so begins the story of Redwall Abbey's heroic founder mouse, a spirited adventurer, a brave warrior, and a true champion of the good, the indomitable, the legendary Martin the Warrior. I recommend 13 upwards simply because it's a harder read. This book series is by Michael Grant. It's called Gone. There are 6 books in the series and this one's the first one. This book is quite an easy read, although it's kind of long. It's about a small town where the adults go completely missing and the teenagers that are left behind cannot get out of the town, and some of them start mutating different powers. It's a pretty good book. This comes from the end of chapter 1. This school is dangerous now. Scared people did scary things sometimes, even kids. Sam knew that from personal experience. Fear could be dangerous. Fear could get people hurt. And there was nothing like fear running crazy through the school. Life in Peridot Beach had changed. Something big and terrible had happened. Sam hoped that he was not the cause. This is an excellent read, very science fiction, and I suggest you go read it right now. I suggest this book for 11-year-olds and upwards. This book is quite serious and quite dramatical. It's about a mother whose daughter goes missing. It's called Daughter by Jane Shelmelt. I can never say that word, you know what it says. We'll read the first couple of paragraphs. The days grow short. Apples litter from the grass, their flesh pockmarked by crows. As I carry logs from the stack under the overhang today, I tread on a soft globe. It collapses into slime under my feet. Okay, so the next book I'm going to talk about is one of the books that, if you haven't heard of it, then you are either isolated in your room, you've never been on the internet, or you're a hermit. This is The Fault in Our Stars. Now, The Fault in Our Stars is by my all-time favourite author, John Green, and it's about a girl with cancer who meets a boy and basically falls in love with him, and it's about their adventure together. The book is a multi-million worldwide bestseller, and it is just amazing. It's really heart-touching, really, it's more of a drama, but it's really, really good. Buy it immediately. So we'll read the first couple of paragraphs. Late in the winter of my 17th year, my mother decided I was depressed, presumably because I rarely left the house, spent a lot of time in bed, read the same book over and over, ate infrequently, and devoted quite a bit of my abundant free time to thinking about death. Whenever you read a cancer booklet or a website or whatever, they always list depression among the side effects of cancer. But in fact, depression is not a side effect of cancer. Depression is a side effect of dying. That sounds really depressing, but it's actually a really good book. Go buy. This one I would suggest for 13 and upwards, anyone mature really. Okay, so the next book is another one that you must have heard of. It's got 3 movies out, and it's obviously the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books. The Diary of the Wimpy Kid books are by Jeff Kinney. They are really funny, and they basically tell the life of any middle school kid or high school. The book is made up of cartoons as well as writing, and it is extremely funny. I'm not going to read anything out because it's really hard to, because there are so many illustrations, and illustrations make up most of the book. I suggest that you go buy this if you are from probably 10 up to 13. Okay, so those are my 10 books that I suggest that you go and buy and read immediately. You can buy it on Kindle or paperback or hardback or whatever you want, but I suggest actually getting the book, because getting a digital book is nothing like actually holding the book in your hands. So leave in the comments what your favourite books are, and maybe put some suggestions down in the comment box. I'd love to hear what you guys are into. Yes, I've tried Game of Thrones, I've tried Lord of the Rings, I just don't find them appealing. I'm not very good at reading fantasy. Okay, so thanks guys, bye from Camera Hunger #1, like and subscribe. See ya!